following broadcast is a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Cameras are ready. The headset is on. It's game time.
All right, we're live here at the Hive in Perham. Let me adjust my microphone level a little bit here. Thanks for tuning in to us here. Bob, Lance, Jason and Lance have the day off today as they had some wrestling commitments with the Perham wrestling team that they had to take care of. So Mike Mason alongside Bob Roars tonight, or I should say this afternoon. This afternoon. How was the trip here for you, Bob?
Trip here was a breeze. I'm glad we didn't have to go anywhere yesterday because this is last night. This is one of the few games. St. Peter on a little bit of a road trip going north here in the state of Minnesota, coming up and playing Alexandria last night. And then making the trek over to Perham here this afternoon. So nice little trip for them. Glad they could get their games in. But, boy, the roads were not nice. We were canceled, of course, yesterday. Perham was supposed to be playing Holly last night. So that one's going to get rescheduled. No word when that one's going to get rescheduled for. But in the meantime, Perham, something a little bit different. Head coach Dave Cressup out with COVID. Kind of a common theme with a lot of people. So Brian Schwantz, his longtime assistant, 28th season as an assistant coach here with Dave Cressup at Perham. So Brian's going to be running the ship here today for the Yellowjackets, but he seems excited. Excited to get a chance to play a 3A school in St. Peter, who plays in a pretty tough conference down in southern Minnesota. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a nice little challenge here for the Yellowjackets today. Yeah,
it's been a couple of years since the last time I personally saw St. Peter. It was during a Christmas invite at Oak Grove High School in Fargo. I don't remember if it's the head coach or somebody, but that little invite that they have at Oak Grove every year, right before Christmas time, features St. Peter, Oak Grove, Sunrise Mountain, a basketball team out of the Phoenix, Arizona area. And I can't remember the fourth team, but all four teams, like the head coaches for all four of those teams, all graduated from Oak Grove, and that's the whole reasoning for that little tournament. So that was the last time I saw St. Peter in action, and they did pretty well, but that was a few years ago. I'm pretty sure none of those players are on this team right now. So
yeah, head coach Sean Keating, he's been at this for quite a while with St. Peter, and he's got a roster. He's got a little bit of size. They like to keep things inside, but he's got some outside shooting as well. But Sean, again, he's got a 6'5" forward, Bennett Olson, who seems to lead the charge. Pretty athletic. They want to kind of kick things inside to him. They got a couple 6'5" kids that Perham is going to have to deal with today. The Yellowjackets, we know how they roll. They're going to force tempo as much as they can. But any Dave Cressup coach team is going to be hard-nosed on defense. They're going to get pressure on the ball. And one person to look for the Yellowjackets, as they have all year, Soren Anderson, the outside shooter, the junior, the 6'4" junior guard. They will run plays, get him open on that left wing, in particular the left corner. And Soren Anderson, if he's hot, that's a very good thing for Perham. If they are unable to hit from the outside today, that could be a problem. That's going to really tighten up this game, Mike.
In the 10-11 games that Perham has played, I think the better way to state it is if Soren Anderson is not hot, they might be in a little bit of trouble. Like I said, in the 10-11 games that they've played this year, I think he's been hot in about 8 or 9 of them. So it's very unlikely that he's not going to have a hot hand shooting, especially here on the home floor in Perham. But, if you rewind a little bit back to the second game of the season, they were on the road in Barnesville, and Soren Anderson just lighting it up. He hit a 3 to force overtime. They would fall short in that game, 57-52. But like I said, win or lose, Soren Anderson is definitely a player that you want to keep your eyes on if you're not familiar with the Perham Yellowjackets. So,
and Perham, this is a pretty young team yet. I mean, you've got key players that are juniors, so they've got another year to build. But, Dave, again, he's going to keep his kids competitive. Obviously not here today, so Brian Schwann's very familiar with this program and with the kids that he's coaching. But, Micah Thompson, a 6'4" guard, he's another one. Just some very good athletes on the Perham side, which is nothing new. They've got a history of good athletes playing basketball here in this program.
And one other one that he may not always score a ton of points, but he certainly contributes in other ways with assists and setting screens and certainly helping his team contribute is the former Breckenridge Cowboy Alex Ohm. Who's he's a junior this year, so they got a couple years to work with him yet. And I mean, we could talk a little bit about almost everybody on that roster, to be honest with you. But those are a few of the players that you want to keep your eyes on here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what these two teams have done so far here on the K&N Family Brands pregame show. We'll start with the visitors on the scoreboard, the St. Peter Saints. We had conflicting information, they're either 6-9 or 6-10. Is it?
I've got them at 6-10 after their loss to Alexandria last night.
All right, so we'll go with 6 and 9.5. They are 0-4 in section play. They're out of 2 AAA section, 3-2 in the Big Southeast Conference, or the Big South Conference. They have like an East-West, kind of like 8AA as North-South. They have East-West in the Big South Conference, and St. Peter's from the East portion of that. And they are 3-2 against Big South Conference East opponents. 3-4 when playing on the road. 0-2 in neutral court. 3-3 at home. And Bob, I know you talked about before we went on the air. They have 9-10 losses, but they've been mostly single-digit losses. They've been in those games, in almost all of those games.
That was one of the things even one of the Perham kids before the game mentioned. He said even the game in Alexandria, he said the score was not indicative of how close that game was. And Alex had a pretty decent team this year. So, again, you've got 7 losses by 8 points or less. They've been right there at halftime. It's just a matter of what the usual things. Turnovers, failed to shoot, not getting stops on defense in the second half, wearing down. Maybe it's conditioning. You've always got some outside factors that will figure in. And again, it's the excitement of coming on the road and playing. This is going to be 2 games in 2 days, for these kids, whereas Perham, with the cancellation and postponement last night against Holly, they're going to be a little bit fresher coming into this one.
Exactly. The Saints started the season with 2 wins against Windham area and Blue Earth area. They'd go on the road and fall to Mankato East 76-52, and then come back home and fall 63-58 to Marshall. Pick up a 5-point win over Jackson County Central on the road, and then they would drop 2 in a row to Glencoe, Silver Lake, and Waseca. 82-64, 66-57 in those 2 games. Bounce off that with a 64-53 win over St. James area. Fall 59-52 to Jordan, and then a 69-61 win at Fairmont. They would go to the Rochester Hoops Challenge and fall by a basket, 53-51 to Lake City, a 1AA team. They'd come out of that tournament, return to regular season play on January 13th, falling 77-68 to New Ulm and 80-75 to Delano. And then an 88-73 victory over Belle Plaine. And then last night they fall 71-63 to Alexandria, bringing them into today's game with Perham. For the Yellowjackets, 2-3 in the Heart of Lakes, or in the 8AA section, 2-2 in the Heart of Lakes Conference. 2-2 when playing on the road. They are 5-1 when playing at home. And if you're just tuning in, yes, I said 5-1. It would fall to the Fergus Falls Otters for the first time at home in 65 games back on January 15th. That's just 7 days from that loss. And they have not had a game since that game. The 2 games, one against Breckenridge, one against Holly, both of them postponed to a date to be determined. So this is their first game after that overtime loss to Fergus Falls. And And if you glance back right before the Fergus Falls game, they almost got knocked off by DGF in overtime too. They were down by 5 points in the final minute of regulation, and Perham was able to battle back and tie that one up and force overtime. And they would continue to battle to pick up a 58-54 win over the Dilworth Glendon Felton Rebels here on their home court. So back-to-back overtime games, and Fergus Falls got the edge of the better of the Yellowjackets in that second overtime game. They started the season with a 66-47 win over the Attican Gobblers, a 57-52 loss in overtime that we referenced earlier to Barnesville, and then 85-26 over Frazee, a game we had for you here on Magnitude Sports. They would go to the Perham tournament and pick up 2 wins, 61-40 over Paynesville and 52-49 over Sauk Center. 81-57 win on the road at Detroit Lakes, but they would fall to Pelican Rapids by 30, 64-34. And to pause there, I didn't realize Pelican Rapids was as good as they were until I saw them play against Barnesville just last week. And now that I look back, it doesn't shock me that they won by 30 in that game. It kind of shocked me when I first looked at it, but it doesn't shock me now that I've got a chance to see them play. After the loss to the Vikings, they would bounce off that with a road trip to the Eskimos. The last team to beat them before Fergus Falls a week ago, back in 2017. This time they'd pick up a win over the Eskimos, 69-57. And then that 58-54 overtime win against DGF, and then the 56-50 loss in overtime to Fergus Falls. Breckenridge Hawley postponed, brings them into today's game against St. Peter. We'll take a timeout. We're about a minute away. Your starting lineups coming up after the break here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Be right back.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans have yield.
All right, welcome back to the Hive in Perham. Mike Mason alongside Bob Roars. Bob, you have our Lakes Ace Hardware starting lineups, right?
We certainly do. First of all, for the Yellowjackets today, kind of a common 5 I'm guessing that they've been going with all season long. They're going to go with Micah Thompson. He is a 6'4 junior guard. Chaz Melvin, another sharpshooter from the outside. He's a 6-foot senior. Soren Anderson, one of the key players here. If he gets hot, Mike, that's going to be a good day for Perham.
Yep.
Soren Anderson is a 6'4 junior. Marcus Belka, a 5'10 senior guard. And then on the inside at forward, you've got 6'2 Jacob Daniels. He is a junior. That is your starting 5 today for the Perham Yellowjackets, led today by assistant coach Brian Schwantz. Head coach Dave Cressup out with COVID. So Brian Schwantz will step in his 28th season as an assistant coach under Dave Cressup. For St. Peter, and meanwhile, coming in at 6-10, starting 5 will look like this. Tate Olson's a 5'11 sophomore guard. Vinny Guapone is a 6-foot senior guard. Alex Bosacker is a 6'5 senior forward. Marwan Abdi, a 6'3 senior forward. And the other starter rounding out that starting 5, Bennett Olson, a 6'5 senior forward. That is your starting lineup for head coach Sean Keating and the St. Peter Saints, coming in with a record of 6-10 and coming off a loss last night on the road at Alexandria by a final score of 71-63. That's today's starting lineups, brought to you by Lakes Ace Hardware.
All right, we'll take a timeout here for the national anthem. We'll come back and wrap up our pregame show right after this here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
KLN is home to great companies like Kenny's Candy and Tuffy's Pet Foods. Matt Nagel here. I was raised right here in Lakes Country. Our products are top-notch. Working for a successful, locally owned family business means job security, pride, and a connection to our local communities. Join us at Kenny's Candy. Experience an awesome benefit program, competitive wages, a sign-on bonus, and profit sharing. Shop local, work local. Get started at klnfamilybrands.com or call 347-0525 and ask for Matt.
Hi, I'm Trevor Seaman with United Community Bank, and today we're down at the Gathering Grounds, joined with Ashley Clifton.
Hello.
Ashley, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
What's the best part for you about working with United Community Bank?
Besides just that they believed in me and kind of took a chance on me and helped me get it all together, I think what's more is that they really do support the community. They come in the store all the time. They don't just give us business, but they, encourage our business, buy gift cards in the winter when we're slower to give to other, locals and businesses. So it's just really inspirational for me.
All right, welcome back. Our final segment of the Lakes Ace Hardware, the KLN and Family Brands pregame show will feature a second edition of your Lakes Ace Hardware starting lineups announced here by Perham Activities Director Aaron Anderson.
Number 21, senior Vinny. Another senior, number 22, Alex Bosacker. A senior, number 24, Marlon Rodney. And a senior, number 32, Bennett Olson. The seniors are coached by assistants Rick Conley, Ethan Silver, Tanner Hill, and Jared Barron, and the head coach, Mr. Sean Keegan. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starters for the Yellowjackets. Wearing number 1, our senior, Micah Thompson. Wearing number 2, our senior, Chaz Melvin. Wearing number 3, our junior, Sam Anderson. A senior, number 4, Marcus Baca. And a junior, number 13, Jacob Daniels. The Jackets are coached by assistant coaches Brian Schwartz, Gary Burkhardt, Ben Hansen, Ryan Ritter, and Tim Schmitz, the head coach.
All right, and that wraps up your Lakes Ace Hardware starting lineups. Bob, your final thoughts before the tip-off here.
Final thoughts, Yellowjackets need to shoot the ball well. Again, they'll probably try and push a little bit of tempo today, but again, when they get in that half-court set, they're going to do everything they can to find Soren Anderson open on that wing, in particular that left corner. And if Soren gets hot, it's going to be a good day. But in the meantime, they need a good supporting cast here today as well because, again, first game, it's been a little while. They've got another game not until the 27th. And with your head coach out, I'm wondering, too, how are the assistant coaches going to handle things today for Perham?
Will be the most talked about Soren Anderson on the tip. And I'll let you take over the play-by-play, Bob.
All right, thanks, Mike. Perham winning that tip, banking into the front court. Yellowjackets in their home black jerseys with the yellow trim. Into the front court, going to be pretty patient on offense. St. Peter likes to sit back in that zone, a 1-2-2 zone. Here's a jumper from the outside. That's what's in good. Soren Anderson's on the board with 3. Yellowjackets with a 3-point lead early.
Well, so far so good with our predictions there on who's gonna be hot. So
Saints working the perimeter in their road whites. Here's a short jumper in the paint, missing. Perham comes away with the rebound. 3-0. Yellowjackets with a quick 3-0 lead here in the opening minutes. It's Chaz Melvin the basketball. Delka looks inside. Melvin again, now swings in the corner. Here's Soren Anderson. He'll bury it from there if they give him a step. Back to Melvin again, working towards the right side. Now into the paint. Pass kind of deflected, but coming away with it is Micah Thompson, the 6'4 junior. Pump fake by Anderson. Drives into the paint, takes some contact, but the floater goes. Soren Anderson on the board again. He's got 5, and it's a 5-0 lead for the Yellowjackets.
A nice start here for Perham, and we'll see if the Saints can get it on the scoreboard here. They need to do so soon if they don't want to dig themselves too much of a hole here.
Quick foul being called there on Soren Anderson. A little bit of a hand check in the paint there on Marwan Abdi. St. Peter inbounding. Here's a drive on the inside. Up and 2 for Alex Bosacker.
Bosacker getting that shot that we talked about that they needed, and now they're putting a little pressure in the backcourt.
Full court coming off that made basket, and a timeout being called on the Perham sideline. We'll take a quick break as well. Yellowjackets here on our United Community Bank scoreboard. Yellowjackets lead St. Peter 5-2. Back in 30 seconds. You're watching high school basketball on Magnitude Sports Media.
Odds are there's an ace right in your neighborhood. With expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock. With people who know their stuff. Welcome to the Home Convenience Store.
Hi, this is Mallory Stotterell
and Erica Saylor from Lakes Ace Hardware.
You can expect expert help for your next project at Lakes Ace Hardware,
right here in downtown Perham.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back in Perham, Bob Roars and Mike Mason with you on a Saturday afternoon. Kind of cloudy outside, but at least it's not snowing and blowing like it has been, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. It's been one of the better days of the past 48 hours. Let's just put it that way. So I spoke with Activities Director Aaron Anderson yesterday, I believe it was, and he's like, it might be nastier in your area than it is here in Perham.
There's a long three-pointer. Marcus Belka knocks one down. 8-2 our score in the early going here. Here's Bennett Olson. He's their key player. Tate Olson, the long jumper. He knocks down a 3.
Nicely done. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there. Nicely done. They really needed that 3, and now they're putting the pressure on, and it's poked out of bounds. They'll stay with Perham.
Let's see how they're going to react with this. Full court pressure. Sometimes if you don't have ball handlers, it's going to create some turnovers. That's what St. Peter's counting on here. 15:51 to go here in our opening half. Full court pressure continues on the inbound. Here's Micah Thompson fighting in the backcourt. They better hurry, try and beat that 10-second call, and they do. Soren Anderson now into the front court. He's going to drive right side. Swings it over. Chaz Melvin looking for help. Now finds Micah Thompson in the paint. He shuffled the feet, traveled.
Yep.
Out of the free throw line, one pump fake, but he moved the feet.
Yeah, they had some nice passing around the perimeter there, and they had a potential open look or two at the basket, but, you know, looking inside for that high percentage too, and it cost them this time around, but not necessarily the end of the world either.
Saints back into the front court. This is Abdi on the wing. Wapone, his pass deflected, stolen away. Back come the Yellowjackets. Here's Micah Thompson. Going to try and drive now into the paint. Pulls up, goes off glass. No, missed it. Rebound, Tate Olson. Had an open look, just couldn't knock it down off glass. Tate Olson free throw line. Wapone spins in the paint. Off glass, got it, and a foul. Wapone scores it, his first 2. Going to get Chaz Melvin for that one, his first personal foul, just the second team foul. But Vinny Guapone going to the free throw line, trying for the and 1. First free throw attempt today for either team. Knocks that one down. He's 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Substitution coming in for the Saints. Ashton Volk, a 5'11 junior guard, making his first appearance today. And the full court pressure continues. We're tied at 8.
It's our first tie of the game. We'll see who gets the first lead change here.
Yellowjackets handle the pressure easily. Back out towards midcourt. This is Melvin. Now the backside pass to Soren Anderson. Soren, nice dish, back outside again. Melvin open look, missed it, too strong. Rebound to the Yellowjackets. Anderson, nice feed to Micah Thompson. Off glass, missed it again. Long rebound, Yellowjackets, fresh possession. Here's Melvin. Belka, back to Melvin. Looking in the low block, gets it to Micah Thompson. Works his way inside, avoids the travel, kicks it back out. Abdi with some quick hands, and the steal. Back come the Saints. Tate Olson swings it to the corner to Bennett Olson. Abdi thought about the three. Nice pass down to Volk. He's going to take his time. Bennett Olson, who's got the quick trigger on the outside. That one misses wide right. Micah Thompson the rebound. As we've hit the 14-minute mark remaining here in the first half.
Some nice opportunities and nice offensive footwork there, and that shot from Anderson won't count.
Waved that one off. Anderson had a good look, but we had a holding foul underneath. Bennett Olson, I believe, is going to pick up that one for the Saints. That's going to be his first personal. First team foul going against the Saints. Another St. Peter substitution. Josh Bosacker checking in, a 6-foot sophomore coming into the game as Abdi goes to the bench. Micah Thompson inbounding. Looking for help, finds it up top. This is Anderson to Belka. Key is being patient on offense, Mike, not forcing anything. They haven't done it so far yet today.
Yeah, no, they've been really patient, especially under the basket. There's been 2 occasions, now 3, where Perham's really, chewed up about 5-6 seconds on taking a shot, trying to find their way to the off the glass through multiple defenders down low, and they've done an excellent job of that.
Micah Thompson finally getting his first 2 of the game. He's been missing some short bunnies underneath. Finally got one there. Here's a nice pass. But the miss on the other end by Alex Bosacker. Yellowjackets up tempo a little bit. Anderson, nice drop pass to Jacob Daniels back outside. This is Belka. Playing catch out between the rings. Tough pass, nice look underneath. Micah Thompson scores.
After St. Peter tying it up at 8, Perham on a 4-0 run now here, leading by 4 on the United Community Bank scoreboard.
A little more separation on offense, creating a little bit of space, and a foul there going against the Yellowjackets, and they're going to get Marcus Belka on that one. It's going to be his first personal on the 5'10 senior. Another substitution coming in. Vinny Guapone checking back in for St. Peter, as Alex Bosacker will go to the bench. Saints will inbound now, left side of the basket. 12-4 Yellowjackets in the early going here. 12:47 to go here till halftime. Here's Volk. Bosacker, now Bennett. Bennett Olson, the 6'5 senior, spins like that. That's great defense. Very good defense. Travel call on Michael Thompson. Kind of some contact underneath, but credit to Micah Thompson. Some great defense going straight up on that one.
Yeah, you can't really blame him for the travel there. I mean, he just had too much momentum in his body, and that kind of took care of that issue. So,
inbound to Bennett Olson off the right block. Goes off glass and scores. He's got 2. Their leading scorer is finally on the board, 12-10. Saints back within 2. Soren Anderson. Melvin. Here's Micah Thompson on the right wing. Almost tied up on the play. Drive, that one nearly went in.
Yeah.
Jacob Daniels had it, lost possession, and nearly rolled in. Here's an open look for Melvin. Too strong. Volk the rebound, still loose on the floor. Jacob Daniels comes away for the Yellowjackets. Anderson now, way outside from the right wing, came up short.
Yeah, if he would have been a step in, that would have been swish.
That was maybe just a foot out of his range from his normal location off that three-point line. Here's Bennett Olson working off glass. Got it. He's got 4. We're tied at 12 on our United Community Bank scoreboard. 11:38 to go until halftime. Here's Belka, left wing. Kicks it back. Jacob Daniels got an open look for 3. Came up short. Rebound. Micah Thompson up strong. Got it. Works his way inside. No call. Looking for the foul underneath. He's working so hard. Yellowjackets control. Belka's the runner in the paint. Got it. And a foul.
Well, they got the foul finally that they're looking for, and it gives them the lead and a chance to go up by 3.
Substitutions coming for St. Peter. That's Abdi and also Zach Hermanson checking in for the first time today. Marcus Belka going to the free throw line, trying to cap off the 3-point play.
I really liked what I've seen from both teams on both ends of the floor so far. It's been a well-played game.
Put the ball down low, you better be expecting to get bumped a little bit, and that's what's been happening inside. Belka's free throw coming up short. Belka with 5 points on the game. 14-12 our score. Yellowjackets by 2. This is Abdi. Marwan Abdi, senior forward. Volk Bosacker, Guapone. Vinny looking for some help down low. Try and drive the paint, now come back outside. No shot clock in Minnesota, so both teams can afford to be patient on offense.
At least for the next year.
Yes, exactly. Yep, good point. It was a missed shot, controlled on the miss by St. Peter. Good patience by the Saints. They trail by 2. Abdi in the paint. Spins. Offensive foul.
Yeah,
nice move, just didn't have anywhere to go with it.
Yeah, and he was inside that restrictive circle too, or at least I thought he was. So I don't know, maybe a second look at that one to be sure, but it's a foul and we'll go with it.
Third team foul going against St. Peter. Abdi's second. We'll keep an eye on that one. Or check that, his first personal foul, just one on Marwan.
Both teams with 3 fouls now.
This is Belka. Marcus going to swing it back up top. Daniels. Soren Anderson lost the handle. Jacob Daniels, another 3 attempt, and he hit it. Daniels on the board, he's got 3. 17-12, a 5-point lead for the Yellowjackets, biggest of the day.
Yeah, one of the things that kind of mesmerizes me a little bit is the form of the three-point shooting, and not just from one player, but from multiple players for the Perham Yellowjackets. They just make it look a little too easy.
Yellowjackets back into the front court. There's Micah Thompson, Melvin. Belka swings it over. Thompson, he's got an open look from 12 feet on the side. Got it. Nice looking stroke.
He may have been fouled on that one, but they didn't blow the whistle. So
6 points for Micah. 19-12. Lead goes to 7. Off balance shot in the paint. Missed. St. Peter follows. It's good. Zach Hermanson on the board. He's got 2. 19-14. Yellowjackets a 5-point lead. Ball tipped out of bounds. Soren Anderson losing the handle on the sideline. Perham will inbound in front of the St. Peter bench. Belka will take a seat. And checking in is Alex Ohm. We talked about him a little bit in the pregame show. This guy has a stroke from the outside, too.
He definitely does, and he'll chase down the ball into the backcourt off that inbounds pass.
Jackets by 5. Here's Soren Anderson. Spins inside. This is Micah Thompson. Another bucket for him. He's got 8. 21-14.
Nice job for Thompson getting through all that mess down in the paint. There was a lot of white jerseys down there.
Long jumper on the outside by St. Peter's. That's Vinny Guapone. Missing wide right. Yellowjackets back the other way. Perham looking for their 8th win of the year. Here's Alex Ohm, the sophomore, kicks Micah Thompson. Melvin Thompson now the ball. Jacob Daniels. Get the feeling St. Peter had a little bit of tape to watch on Soren Anderson. Now Alex Ohm steps up and knocks down a 3.
And he wasted no time coming off the bench and contributing points.
He's on the board, his first 3. 10-point advantage now and a timeout going for St. Peter. On our United Community Bank scoreboard with 8:03 remaining here in the first half. Perham leading St. Peter 24-14. Back with more in a moment. You're watching high school basketball on Magnitude Sports Media.
When everything is in one place, it's easier to stay focused on your own life. At Central Minnesota Credit Union, we've streamlined our financial tools to ensure you have everything you need all under one roof. Whether you're starting a family, starting a business, or buying a home, CMCU is here to be a trusted financial partner. CMCU offers free checking options and a network of financial experts. Because when everything is in one place, it's easier to stay focused on your own life.
While the scoreboard reveals the winner of an athletic contest, the real winners are the players, coaches, and fans who show good sportsmanship. Those who treat the game as a competition, show concern for an injured player, and accept all decisions from game officials. Please remember to be a good sport when attending a high school game. This message courtesy of Magnitude Sports.
Bob Rohr's Mike Mason back with you in Perham High School, where the Yellowjackets with a 10-point lead, 24-14 over St. Peter. Saints out of that timeout with the basketball. Here's Bennett Olson. Then they turn it over off the hands of Marwan Abdi.
Yeah, Perham on a 10-2 run since they took that 14-12 lead back earlier, about maybe 3 minutes ago or so.
Kind of a trademark for the Yellowjackets, that very tough half-court defense. That's what they're known for, and we're seeing it today.
And, you know, we saw St. Peter come out with the press early, and now they've kind of shied away from it. So, of course, when you're down 10, that might be something they go back to sooner than later. We'll see what they decide to do.
Neither team really in foul trouble yet. They're with just 3 team fouls each. Here's Jacob Daniels, thought about the 3. Here's Micah Thompson, who's had a nice first half here for Perham. Melvin, back to Ohm. Alex Ohm, pump fake, thought about it. Daniels, Soren Anderson. Marwan Abdi playing him tough on the outside, keeping him from getting loose. Missed shot, rebound to St. Peter. Again, good patience on offense, just not able to knock one down there for the Yellowjackets. Bennett Olson, they've held him to just 4 points so far today. Tate Olson, long 3, got it.
Nice shot there by, I'm looking at the wrong roster here, Tate Olson.
He's one of their keys. If they get him going on the outside, that's going to be huge for them today. Here's Micah Thompson in the left corner. Looking for help, Jacob Daniels. Soren Anderson drives into the paint, looking for help. Nice backdoor cut by Thompson. Ball tipped out of bounds off of Bennett Olson. And the Yellowjackets will keep possession. 6:28 to go here in the first half. 7-point lead at 24-17 for Perham and the basketball.
Yeah, Perham, they had the lead. St. Peter tied it at 8. Perham took the lead at 10-8, tied at 12. Perham took the lead at 14-12. They haven't looked back yet.
Alex Ohm, long 3, top of the key, missed it. Rebound to Alex Bosacker, the 6'5 senior. Bennett Olson across the 10-second line. Nice cut on the give and go. Bennett Olson off glass, missed it, fights for the rebound. We're going to have a tie-up, and possession arrow is going to belong to the Saints. More substitutions coming for St. Peter. Zach Hermanson checking back in. And also Josh Bosacker checking in, a 6-foot sophomore guard.
Well, we saw Bosacker hit a couple big shots last time he was on the floor, and we'll see if he does the same thing this time. Scramble, and that's going to be a foul, I believe, on Perham. I believe it's going to be charged to Ohm, but we'll find out for sure here.
Yeah, a little bit of a scrum underneath there, so Alex is going to pick up his first personal foul.
That'll be the 4th team foul on Perham.
Clean inbound, Tate Olson from the corner, missed it, went a little bit long with it. Rebound, Bosacker, pump fake, in trouble, now goes up strong and got it. Nice job
done
by Josh Bosacker.
Yeah, nicely done there, just did everything right down low.
Saints were down 10, they trail by 5. Micah Thompson kicked Jacob Daniels, he's got an open look for 3, knocked it down.
That was a beautiful shot there.
Daniels' second 3 of the half, 27-19.
They made 5 3-pointers. I think all 5 of them have been swish. I don't think any have rattled off the rim or off the backboard. I think they've all been swish.
Just one of those 3s coming from Soren Anderson so far. Abdi, or rather, off that loose ball, Micah Thompson, the last one to touch it, had a foot on the line when he made contact with the ball. So off the inbound, St. Peter trailing by 8 with 5:16 to go here in the opening half. Don't forget our KLN Family Brands halftime show coming up just around the corner. Here's Tate Olson in the paint, has to pull up free throw line. Open look for 3, that one too strong by Zach Hermanson, and a foul the other way going against the Saints. Josh Bosacker picking up the personal, that's his first, 4th team foul. And again, no more full court pressure from St. Peter. I kind of like what they were doing when they had that in the first half. I'm surprised they backed off like they have.
It seemed to be working back then, and now they're down. And I don't know they always say if it's working, don't change it. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll eventually get the right words out.
Michael Schwantz is checked into the game for Perham. Meanwhile, more substitutions coming. Vinny Guapone and Alex Bosacker checking back in for the Saints. Ohm inbounding for Perham. Looking for Schwantz. Now they get it to Anderson. You're getting up in Anderson's face a little bit today. They're just not giving him open looks. They're going to let everybody else beat him. Maybe a foul on that drive. Micah Thompson comes away with it. Ohm swings it to Daniels. Now Soren Anderson will try the three and hit it. Just takes a step.
That passing around the perimeter to set that up, absolutely no selfishness with the Perham Yellowjackets. They know who they wanted to get the ball to, and when he had the look at the shot, he pulled the trigger, and boom.
Alex Ohm picking up the foul there. But, you know, the big key and what you like about Anderson is the ball doesn't go on the floor.
Yeah.
He's a spot-up jumper. They hit him in a shooting position, and he knocks it down in a hurry. Marcus Belka checking back in for Perham. Ohm with his second personal foul will go to the bench. Saints inbound. Guapone drives on the right side. Missed it off glass. Micah Thompson the rebound. Quickly. Soren Anderson. Nice patience. Here's Daniels. They double him out between the rings. Finally gets it off to Micah Thompson. Now the pressure way up top.
Yeah, dangerously close to that half-court stripe.
Yellowjackets handle the pressure. Here's Belka. Pump fake. Looking for Anderson on the wing. Soren's got it. Back to Micah Thompson. Got a 6'4" forward playing out near center court. Swing the pass, stolen away. Bosacker comes back the other way. Or Guapone, rather. His pass stolen.
It was a no-look pass that he probably should have looked on.
Soren Anderson off glass, score it. Nice body control there by Soren. He's got 10 here in the opening half. 32-19, biggest lead of the game at 13 points. Here's Bennett Olson. Spins in the paint. Soft floater, missed it. Rebound, another one. Coming down to the Yellowjackets. Soren Anderson that time. Belka. 3 minutes to go here till halftime. Micah Thompson up between the rings. Saints making a point to come out in that 1-2-2 zone and trying to trap. Timeout being called here as Brian Schwantz wants to talk it over on the Perham sideline. On our United Community Bank scoreboard, 2:50 to go in our first half. Perham 32, St. Peter 19. Back with more. You're listening to high school basketball on Magnitude Sports Media.
Check out the Backyard in Perham. They have the largest selection of bird seed, assorted suets, and bird feeders in the area. Over 50 different varieties of pet food and pet treats, and an even bigger selection of pet toys, leashes, collars, and more. The Backyard is also your pet's destination for a spa day. The grooming salon is open Monday through Friday for grooms, nail trims, and baths. And book a stay for your pet at the Backyard Boarding and Play Care, a brand new facility made to make your pet feel at home. If your pet needs a comfortable place to stay, call Backyard Boarding and Play Care.
Back at Perham, 2:50 to go here in our opening half. Yellowjackets a 32-19 lead over St. Peter. And Yellowjackets the basketball out of their timeout. Here's Chaz Melvin. Belka kicks in the corner. Soren Anderson. Three from the left corner, missed it. Micah Thompson, another rebound today. And a foul underneath. Ashton Volk, who's checked in, is going to get the reach. His second personal foul. 5th team foul. Yellowjackets inbounding. Here's Chaz Melvin out between the rings. Now drives. Thompson went down in the paint, recovers. Belka, Jacob Daniels. Floats one out to Melvin. 3-point look, missed it. Marwan Abdi has that one fall in his lap for a rebound. Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Here's Abdi in the paint, jump stop, got it. Nice strong move there by the senior Marwan Abdi, his first two. 32-21, 11-point advantage. Dangerously close and over and back, but they do turn it over anyway.
Yeah, it was the tightrope turnover, I guess you could call that one.
Tate Olson the three straight up, missed it. Abdi corrals that loose ball rebound. Jumper missed on the outside by Volk. Micah Thompson, another board. Thompson and Anderson are not going to get much rest today, I don't think, from the looks of it. Two key players of that Perham attack. Belka, Thompson has it nearly stolen away. Here's Soren Anderson. Thompson in the paint. Going to go up strong to the bucket with the left hand. Softly missed it. Jacob Daniels, the nice follow and a rebound, a bucket, and a foul. Jacob Daniels, a nice first half. He's got 8. We got Volk on the foul. That's going to be 2 on him. And Jacob Daniels going to the 3-4. 21 our score after the follow. Daniels, again, one of those key role players on this Perham team. Jacob knocks down the free throw. Free throws today, by the way, sponsored by EOT Insurance. They also take care of our stat report all game long. 35-21 our score. Biggest lead of the day at 14 points for Perham. Here's Abdi, drives the paint, tries a split defense and a little bump here in the paint. Somebody wasn't moving their feet quick enough. Might be Soren Anderson. Check that. Schwantz is going to pick up the foul. Michael's got his first personal foul. 16 fouls apiece. Abdi in the paint. Dishes off for Guapone. Loose ball. Last to touch was Perham. Ball belongs to the Saints. 1:01 to go till halftime.
Just a correction. 6 fouls, not 16 fouls apiece.
16 fouls.
Oh, 16.
16 fouls.
I guess I
apiece.
need to get 6 Q-tips. So.
Saints inbounding. It's Tate Olson. Yellowjackets playing some very good half-court defense today. Here's Bennett Olson, drops it down. Guapone going to try the paint, works his way off glass. Got a nice strong move there by Vinny Guapone, the 6-foot senior guard. He's got 5. 35-23. Inside of 40 seconds to go. Going to be an over and back call coming.
Yeah, he tried to put the ball to the floor on a dribble, and it went off his foot and over the back line, and just an unfortunate turnover there for the Yellowjackets.
The official forgot to blow his whistle on that. We saw it got it into the backcourt, and he just kind of pointed at it, and okay, away we go. So St. Peter now maybe playing for one shot here to end the half. Down by 12. 35-23. Tate Olson way up top. Marcus Belka on him. Going to hold it. Going to guess it's either looking for Tate Olson or Bennett Olson here to try and finish off the half. Here's Guapone. Spins in the paint. Nice pass over to Bosacker, who scores. Josh Bosacker with 4. Nice dish from Guapone. 35-25. Whistle. Ball's going to stay with Perham. 1.5 remaining till halftime.
Yep. 1.5 seconds, and they might be able to get a catch and shoot here.
Set a screen for somebody, maybe try and find Soren Anderson for an open look. Schwantz is going to inbound. Micah Thompson, got to hurry. That was partially deflected. Nice defense there by Bennett Olson. And that will do it for our first half on our United Community Bank scoreboard. Perham 35, St. Peter 25. We'll be back in a moment with our KLN Family Brands halftime show. Right after this, you're watching high school basketball. Perham against St. Peter on.
They say $1 doesn't go far these days, but in my classroom, it does. Especially when I can use it to buy technology to keep my students on the cutting edge of learning.
Arvig donates money to my school through a school partnership program.
$1 of your payment goes to area schools like mine for computers, tablets, smart technology.
It doesn't cost me anything extra to provide a better,
brighter,
more connected classroom.
I'm Trevor Seaman with United Community Bank, and we are down with Erica Saylor at Lakes Ace Hardware, downtown Perham. That transition to being a small business owner, how did United Community Bank help with you guys acquiring Lakes Ace Hardware?
They were through the whole process when we starting to do the purchase. They were super helpful, helped us out with everything, and just really easy to work with.
KLN is home to great companies like Kenny's Candy and Tuffy's Pet Foods. Matt Nagel here. I was raised right here in Lakes Country. Our products are top-notch. Working for a successful, locally owned family business means job security, pride, and a connection to our local communities. Join us at Kenny's Candy. Experience an awesome benefit program, competitive wages, a sign-on bonus, and profit sharing. Shop local, work local. Get started at klnfamilybrands.com or call 347-0525 and ask for Matt.
One, two, three.
Bob Roars and Mike Mason back with you here at Perham High School, where the home team, the Yellowjackets, leading St. Peter by a score of 35-25 on our United Community Bank scoreboard. And welcome to the KLN Family Brands halftime show. Entertaining first half. Hometown team and the crowd's got to be happy with this, Mike, from what we've seen in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first 26 points scored in this game, it was pretty much even. And I think you mentioned something in our pregame show, Bob, where St. Peter's usually been in these games at the halftime mark. Right now, I don't know if 10 points is that's right on the border of being in it. It's certainly not a hill that they can't climb and return from. But, we talked about it a couple occasions over the course of the first half. They ran that full court press early. And ever since they gave up that full court press, Perham took the 14-12 lead. They haven't looked back. They've built that lead to 10. We were tied at 8. Perham led 10-8. We were tied at 12. Perham led 14-12. We've had 2 ties, 2 lead changes, both of them going to the Yellowjackets. And the Yellowjackets have not taken their foot off the gas pedal yet. And there was a couple moments where St. Peter just kind of made a couple blunders, and Perham was able to come back and get a basket, and that accounts for about 4 of the 10 points that the Yellowjackets are up by right now. And, outside of those couple of blunders, I thought this was a pretty well played game by both teams into the first half.
I've been pretty impressed by Perham's half-court defense here, and I think that's been the big key. They've allowed a couple jumpers to Tate Olson from St. Peter, knocked down a couple threes, but otherwise getting the ball inside. Anything inside St. Peter's had to work for pretty tough today because the Yellowjackets have been that good on the inside. Looking at our halftime scoring, we'll run down those for you right now. Micah Thompson with 8 points. And those he's had one floater. Otherwise, he's been working tough in the paint. I think he's been one of the keys for Perham today. He's outworking everybody on the offensive end as well.
I don't know. I can see a couple of those baskets he made. They're like burned into my memory. And if I made that basket, I'd need a couple Powerades after that one play there. I would be just out of it.
Chaz Melvin scoreless on the day. Soren Anderson has knocked down a couple threes. He's got 10 points here in the first half. Marcus Belka with 5. Alex Ohm stepping off the bench. He knocks down a 3, so he's got 3 points. 9 points for Jacob Daniels with a couple 3-pointers as well for Perham's total of 35. For St. Peter, meanwhile, Josh Bosacker, 4 points. 6 points for Tate Olson on a couple 3-pointers there. Vinny Guapone coming up with a couple field goals and then 1 of 1 from the free throw line for 5 points. Alex Bosacker with 2, Marwan Abdi with 2, Zach Hermanson off the bench with 2. Bennett Olson, their leading scorer, with just 4 points on the day. And again, credit Perham. That's just been really solid defense. They're getting bodies matched up really well on the defensive end. And St. Peter with that total of 25. So the Yellowjackets 35-25 here at halftime on our United Community Bank scoreboard. All right, what's the conversation now as we head to the second half? What's Sean Keating talking to his kids about at halftime, trying to get back in 2 games in 2 days, a tough loss at Alexandria last night. But again, Perham playing without head coach Dave Cressup out with COVID. Brian Schwanz and the rest of the Perham staff has stepped up today. What's the message on the Perham side, you think?
Well, I think on the Perham side, if we never mentioned that Dave wasn't here, I don't think anybody would know by the way the Jackets are playing. You know, and so you know, big credit to Brian Grant and Brent for stepping up, and I think you know. Just keep playing. Just keep working hard down low. Keep passing the ball around the perimeter, getting those open looks at the 3. I mean, they're not. I don't know how many 3s they've missed, but and we can check that out here in a moment on our EOT stat report. But I think they just need to keep going. Now, as far as St. Peter. I really think they need to go back to that press. It really helped them in that first half. It kept them within a basket or 2. In those first 28 points of the game, I don't think either team had more than a 4-point lead at any point. And it went back and forth as we had a couple lead changes and a couple ties. But then I mentioned those couple blunders by St. Peter, and they scored the 2 buckets. And Perham at one point went on a 10-2 run after they took the 14-12 lead, leading 24-14 at one point. And now it's 35-25. And the 2 teams have been playing even. But the problem is they're down 10 points. So, I think you need to go back to that press. You need to get hands in the face a little bit. Make sure you box out, get those rebounds, get those extra possessions. Make sure you make Perham a one-and-done team and get those defensive rebounds and maybe get a couple second chance opportunities on some offensive rebounds too. And I think that will certainly help St. Peter. As we take a look at our EOT Insurance stat report, the Yellowjackets shooting 14 of 25, 6 of 11 from behind the arc, and 1 of 2 from the EOT Insurance free throw line. They committed 6 fouls. That should be 6. And then they committed a total of 4 turnovers. Well, the Saints, 11 of 22, 2 of 6 from behind the arc. Perfect 1 of 1. But great job at being 100%, but it's only 1 free throw. And they just have. I think that's another key to the second half is they can find a way to get to the line. I don't know how many games you've watched that I've done, but one of my biggest things I always talk about is points with the clock stopped. And if you can get those at the free throw line, that is a big that can produce some big momentum swings for your team.
It hasn't been a pretty physical game. I mean, again, neither team got to the bonus situation in the second half. But again, you've also got a lot of patience on offense. Both teams really milking the clock prior to even taking a shot. But once that ball's been going inside, tell you what, you've got to earn it once you get inside the paint today. Micah Thompson will attest to that. He's got 8 points on the day again. But tell you what, he's earned them because he's gone up a few times, missed the first one, followed up his own rebound. I'd be curious how many offensive boards Mike has come up with on the day as well.
I used to keep track of that, but then we had problems with our computer freezing, so got rid of the rebound stat.
As we get set for our second half, this is our KLN Family Brands halftime show. The stat report brought to you by EOT Insurance. Getting set for our Arvig Communications opening tip as we get ready to go with half number 2. St. Peter will inbound. Saints in their road white jerseys. Now be going left to right here to start the second half and trailing by 10, 35-25. Saints starting 5, I believe, for each team. This is Vinny Guapone. Bennett Olson, 6'5 senior, spins off the right block off glass, missed it. Great straight-up defense by Micah Thompson, but Olson follows it up with a bucket, cuts the lead to 8.
So far, so good in the second half here, and now a turnover, and they're going to get the ball back.
So maybe a little bit of a hurry there for Perham out of the halftime break. Still leading 35-27. And Vinny Guapone will bring it across midcourt for St. Peter. St. Peter coming in a record of 6-10 on the year. Like I said, following a loss last night at Alexandria. Here's Bennett Olson, right corner. Pump fake. Good patience. Wapone looking for Olsen in the paint. Again, Perham, tough man-to-man D. Nice pick and roll to Bosacker. Kick it out. Abdi from the corner. Three-pointer's good.
Well, they've outscored Perham 5-0 now here in the second half, and they're going on that press. It's more of a three-quarter court press with a half-court trap to follow, but they will get it over the timeline. I believe that's Soren Anderson over there.
Anderson working on the right wing. Now finds Thompson. Backdoor cut Jacob Daniels, but fouled underneath. Went up for the shot. Vinny Wapone's going to pick up the personal. I believe that's number 2 on Vinny.
Yeah, they'll have to get those 2 points the hard way, but outside of the foul preventing the shot, everything was perfect on that 3-pass exchange.
Daniels going to the EOT Insurance free throw line. Jacob Daniels, good. He's now 2 of 2 from the line tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. 36-30, 6-point advantage. Second attempt, swish.
Free throws, three-pointers, it's all the same as far as Perham's ability to shoot them.
Daniels now with 11 points on the day. Here's Abdi. Marwan, nice give and go underneath. That's Bosacker, missed it, going to follow up his shot, got it, and a foul. Nice job staying with the ball. With the miss was Bosacker. He's now got 4 points. He's going to the free throw line. They're going to get Chaz Melvin on that foul. His second personal. Free throw missed. Loose ball. Abdi comes away with it. Wapone, nice pass to paint. Bosacker, nice dish over to Olsen, who goes up and scores. Bennett with 8. They've made a game of it, 37-34. Turnover.
Oh, my goodness.
Tate Olsen, here come the Saints. Here's Tate Olsen, kicks it back, pass deflected. Abdi recovers. Marwan Abdi drops it off. Here's Bennett Olsen, quick trigger 3, smash.
And we are tied at 37. Last time this game was tied, the score was 12-12. And a timeout for Perham.
They've come all the way back. 15:55 to go on our United Community Bank scoreboard. Perham 37, St. Peter 37. Back in 30 seconds. You're listening and watching high school basketball.
Jake, no video games till your homework's done, bud.
It is done, Mom. What about your homework?
My homework?
Arvik donates $1 from our internet payment each month. Helps buy technology for my classroom. Computers, tablets, stuff that wasn't invented when you were in school.
Haha, good one.
It's free.
School partnership program. That's an easy assignment.
I can see it now. Video games for every student.
A 10-point lead at halftime for Perham has disappeared. 12-2 run to open the second half by St. Peter's tied this game at 37 apiece. On our United Community Bank scoreboard, Bob Roars and Mike Mason with you today from Perham. The Yellowjackets supposed to have a game yesterday hosting Perham, or hosting Hawley rather. That one postponed. St. Peter lost last night at Alexandria. They come on over and make this road trip. Coach Sean Keeney's got to be very happy. Not sure what he told his kids at halftime, but there must be some magic to it because they've come all the way back and tied this one up at 37.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mentioned a few of the things that they should go back to, and they did pretty much all of those things. They didn't do the full court press, but they did the three-quarter court press, and that's about the only thing that they did that I didn't say they needed to do at halftime. So
a 1-2-1-1 full court press coming out for St. Peter. It's been paying dividends with a couple early turnovers against the Yellowjackets. Now the pressure out by midcourt. Strong half-court D. Here's Chaz Melvin, outside look for 3. In and out, rebound Micah Thompson fighting for it, lost the handle. Now still working inside, now spins, but he's going to whistle for a travel. Brian Schwantz looking for a foul call, saying that Thompson got a little bit of help there. I think he may be right.
Yeah, I think we need to, I don't know what happened. Our scoreboard showed 37-37 a little bit ago, but not anymore.
37 all. We'll help you through that. Nice pass, Bennett Olsen to Alex Bosacker, and it's a 2-point advantage on a 14-2 run here for St. Peter to start the second half. Micah Thompson goes up. Didn't get the call, missed a shot, comes back away. Soren Anderson from the corner, three-pointer, missed it. Rebound, Guapone. 14-2 run here for the Saints. Can they add to it? Here's Guapone driving the paint off glass.
Wow.
Got it. Nobody picked him up. Vinny Guapone now with 7. It's a 4-point lead at 41-37 for St. Peter.
I don't know. I think Perham's a little shell-shocked by this right now. I mean, it's a different St. Peter team coming out of the halftime break.
Daniels trying to find Micah Thompson down in the paint. Pass skipped off his fingertips. St. Peter comes back the other way. 3 key turnovers early here for Perham. Bennett Olson way outside for 3. Too strong. Rebound coming down, foul going against Marwan Abdi. Substitutions coming here for St. Peter. Ashton Volk and Josh Bosacker checking in. Second person foul against Abdi. Second team foul also. And more full court pressure in that 1-2-1-1 full court press. Soren Anderson in the backcourt in trouble. Stolen away. And now nearly stolen back and a jump ball. Ball's going to belong to Perham. They call it a jump. Sean Keating looking for a holding call.
I think that was the right call. I didn't see any hold, but he was on the backside of it. He may have saw a different angle that we didn't see, so may have had a valid argument there.
Full court pressure continues. Belka, Daniels, now to Anderson, and Soren gets it across the 10-second line. Drops it off, Micah Thompson. Now they can set up finally in the half court. Here's Melvin. Boy, not just pressure, it's a lot of pressure on the ball here for St. Peter.
This is like in-your-face harassment.
4-point lead for St. Peter. Pressuring way up top between the rings. Here's Belka, off glass floater, missed it, rebound, Bennett Olson for St. Peter.
I don't think the Yellowjackets have made a shot yet. Yeah, every shot they've taken has been a miss.
And heavily contested too. It's not just missing, they've had to work their way through pressure. Volk in the right corner. Cross court, Bosacker. Here's Josh into the paint. Jump stop. Took a bump from Daniels. No call. Daniels got his own rebound. Throws one up a prayer. Now he gets the foul. Draws it. I think it's going to be Jacob Daniels picking it up. That could be number 2 on Jacob.
Wants to say to Mark. He says it's snowing in Fargo right now. And he says that for some reason, you and I sound good.
Must be the snow.
Yeah, it must be the snow. Thanks for watching, Mark. Appreciate it.
Josh Bosacker at the line, at the EOT Insurance free throw line. Attempt missing. First miss today from the line.
Also want to say hi to
miss.
Dave, who is watching from Florida right now.
Bet you it's not snowing there.
Probably not, no.
Zach Hermanson has checked back in for St. Peter. Second attempt coming here by Bosacker. 4 points in the opening half. Make it now 5 points for the day. Goes 1 of 2 from the line. 42-37. Makes it, what, a 15-2 run to start the second half here for St. Peter.
15-0. Or wait, no, you're right, 15-2.
It's my Fergus Falls math finally paying off. Good patience. Anderson's going to try this right wing 3. Missed it. Rebound. Belka kicks it back out. Melvin's going to try the 3. That one in and out. Up strong. Anderson follows up and scores. Soren Anderson now with 12 points on the day to lead the Yellowjackets. Gets it back to 42-39 on her United Community Bank scoreboard. Here's Bosacker. Pressured up top by Jacob Daniels. Pump fake. Got it. Nice head fake there by Josh Bosacker.
It seems like the St. Peter Saints were playing the same game the Yellowjackets were in the first half.
I would agree. Thompson maybe got fouled, went up for the shot, but he recovers, puts it up and in. He's now got 10. 44-41, 12:21 to go here in the second half.
And it's taken them about just shy of 6 minutes to score 4 points for the Yellowjackets.
It's Tate Olson working on Micah Thompson. Nice dish back to Alex Bosacker off glass. Missed the shot. Nice straight up defense. And Bosacker's going to pick up the foul going the other way. Alex, second personal foul, I believe. More substitutions coming. Bennett Olson checking back in. And also Shea Hildebrand making his first appearance. First personal foul going against Bosacker today. More full court pressure. Tate Olson got a hand on it. Micah Thompson recovers for Perham. Boy, he's just getting muscled all the way down the court.
I don't know.
Officials are letting him play today, definitely.
Yeah. You know, you're triple teamed. That means 2 people are open, and there's no way you can get it to one of those 2 people.
There are hands everywhere.
Yeah.
Look at this. Here's another steal. Yep, they're going to get away with it. Here's Bosacker coming back. Alex, nice block from behind. No, foul being called on Chaz Melvin.
Oh, our free throw sponsors getting their money's worth in the second half here. Only a couple trips to the free throw line in the first half here, but once again, stepping up to the EOT insurance line for the Saints is the senior, Alex Bosacker.
Missing the first one. That is 1 of 4 from the free throw line here in the second half for St. Peter.
2 of 5 overall in the game, according to my numbers.
Bosacker 6 points on the day, make that 7 as he goes 1 of 2 from the line there. Marwan Abdi checking back in for the Saints. 45-41. And more full court pressure coming here for St. Peter. Jacob Daniels showing patience. There they break it. Here's Micah Thompson into the front court. Now they work the perimeter. Belka. Melvin. Belka, floater in the paint, missed it. Micah Thompson, the rebound, goes up off glass. Nope, missed his shot, but he was fouled. And it might be Abdi picking it up.
Well, I talked about it at halftime. You got to get these points with the clock stopped. And you're only down 4, but with the way St. Peter is playing, that 4 is a pretty big 4 right now.
Micah Thompson to the free throw line, first time today. EOT free throw line. Gets that one. Now with 11. Vinny Guapone checking back in. Tate Olson checking back in. Both teams going about 8 players deep, really, on their bench. Second attempt missed by Thompson.
Yeah, that one was short. The moment it left his hand, I could tell it wasn't going to make it there. And good news, it's a 1-possession game. Depending on what happens here, he traveled.
Peyton Onlund is checked back into the game and immediately commits the turnover on the walk. 11:06 to go here in the second half. It's a 3-point advantage for St. Peter. Perham the basketball. Yellowjackets led by 10 at the half at 35-25. All St. Peter here in the second half so far. Handle the pressure. Soren Anderson goes. Ball tipped away, looking for Chaz Melvin on kind of the backside pass, but nice recovery there by the Saints. Odlin checks out of the game. Ashton Volk back in. Perham inbounding. Trailing by 3. Thompson. Here's Micah, pulls up in the paint, kicks it back outside to Soren Anderson. Soren looking for a screen. Saints have done a nice job. Now a steal coming back the other way. Ashton Volk goes up for the layup and scores. He's on the board. His first 2 of the day. Nice defensive effort. Back to a 5-point lead for St. Peter.
They've just done everything right and pretty much nothing wrong. And there's another.
Marwan Abdi at the free throw line, trying to cap off a 3-point play here for St. Peter, and he does. Switched it home. 1 of 1 from the line for Marwan. 50-42, and another steal. Backdoor cut, nice job by Bennett Olson. Here's Abdi, open look. This is Guapone, a 3-pointer. Vinny Guapone now with 10 on the day. 53-42. They trailed by 10 at halftime. They lead by 11 here in the second half. And a foul in the backcourt on Vinny Guapone. I believe that's going to be number 3 on Vinny. So the full court pressure, Mike, has absolutely been a factor here in the second half. It was early in the game. St. Peter elected to go away from it. They fell behind by 10. Here they are in the second half. It's producing the results they want. It's getting turnovers.
And we apologize for the frozen camera there, but we're back live now, and we'll get our scoreboard reset to match with the one in the gym in the moment. In the meantime, we'll put the gym scoreboard on screen for you.
Nice pass inside to Jacob Daniels. He got fouled on the play. And Jacob will go to the free throw line for the third time today. The EOT Insurance free throw line. Bosacker picking, or Vinny will pull the foul. That's number 3 on Vinny. Here's Daniels to the line. Short. Tate Olson checking back in for St. Peter. Marcus Belka going to the bench for Perham as Alex Ohm is checked in for the Yellowjackets. 11-point advantage for St. Peter. Daniels trying to cut into that, and does. Gets that free throw. Jacob now with 12 points on the day. 53-43, 9:44 to go on our United Community Bank scoreboard. Here's Bennett Olson. Bosacker. Volk going strong at the left hand, missed the shot. Rebound corralled there by Alex Ohm. He got fouled in the backcourt. Volk's going to pick up the foul there. A little nudge from behind. Sean Keating not happy with it, but it sure looked like a good call from here. And Ohm going to the free throw line as the Saints have committed their 7th team foul here. So this is an opportunity for Perham to get back in the game. Being here in the bonus this early in the second half. Still 9:30 to go. Josh Bosacker checking in. Volk going to the line. Alex Ohm shooting a bonus. 3-pointer in the first half to his credit. Trying to get on the board here in the second. Get this game inside of 10 points, and he does. Free throw up and good. As you mentioned, Mike, Ohm coming in, transfer from Breckenridge. Second attempt coming here for Alex Ohm, 5'9" junior guard. Goes 2 of 2 from the line.
Those are big free throws right there as I'm finally back and ready to talk again.
53-45. St. Peter the basketball and an 8-point lead. Bennett Olson. Long 3 by Tate Olson. It's good.
That one stung a little bit, no pun intended. But yeah, to go from a single-digit lead to a double-digit deficit on that 3-pointer certainly stung a little bit. They'll take a timeout. We can take a timeout as well if you'd like to, Bob. And
9:14 to go here on our United Community Bank scoreboard. 56-45, St. Peter leading the Yellowjackets. Back with more. You're watching high school basketball.
Hi, I'm Trevor Seaman with United Community Bank, and today we're down at the Gathering Grounds, joined with Ashley Clifton.
Hello.
Ashley, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Hi, I'm Trevor Seaman with United Community Bank, and now we are in Long Weekend Sportswear, talking with Tammy Seifert. Tammy, how are you?
Good, thanks.
What's the best part about working with United Community Bank?
They're local. They have been our best buddies since we purchased the business. They bent over backwards to educate us and let us know the best way to purchase this business. This was our first, endeavor of doing something so big. They've just always been there for us. Always been there for us. I love just picking up the phone and calling. We just wouldn't be working with anybody else other than UCB.
A 31-10 run here in the second half for St. Peter. Trailed by 10 at halftime. Talk about a tale of two halves. Everything was all Perham in that first half, but St. Peter's come out with full court pressure here. They're creating turnovers and definitely making it count on the offensive end. 56-45 our score now. St. Peter leading. Perham coming out of that timeout with the basketball and trying to break more full court pressure. Here's Ohm, cross court pass, stolen away. Try to go and find Soren Anderson. Bennett Olson the steal.
Ooh.
Maybe got away with a travel.
Yeah,
no
I was
call.
just thinking the same thing, yep.
Tate Olson. And now the Saints going to play the patient game, the waiting game on offense. Here's a nice give and go in the paint. They swing it around.
Wow.
Bennett Olson, quick 3, got it. Bennett Olson, big second half. That's his second 3-pointer of the day.
That was some tic-tac-toe passing right there by the Saints. Very impressive.
59-45, 14-point lead. Here comes Perham. Chaz Melvin pulls up from 10 feet, missed the shot. Tate Olson comes away with the rebound. Stolen away by Micah Thompson in a bucket. Nice hands by this junior forward. Trying to get the Yellowjackets back into this. They're back within 12 at 59-47. Bennett Olson, runner in the paint, offensive foul. Good defense there by Micah Thompson. Moving screen there going against Alex Bosacker. So 2 personal fouls on him. They don't shoot free throws on player control fouls, even though they're in the bonus. So that is 18 fouls. Perham doing their best to handle this backcourt pressure. We approach 8 minutes remaining in this contest. Nearly another steal, and it is. Boy, just gives the Saints some credit. They have been getting into the passing lanes and coming up with some key steals.
Yeah, the Saints, or the Yellowjackets have as many turnovers this half as the Saints had in the first half, and that just goes off your statement. That's been a tale of 2 halves. It has been some fun. I mean, they played great basketball in the first half, but they've played great plus a little bit more in the second half here for the Saints.
St. Peter will inbound, leading by 12 at 59-47. This is Abdi. Spins in the paint, now looks for help, drops it off. This is Guapone. Vinny with Jacob Daniels on him. Nice steal by Jacob, ball last touched by St. Peter. Saints are going to keep up that full court pressure. Now going with Chaz Melvin inbounding. Kind of a 1-2-1-1 set, and it's been giving the Yellowjackets absolute fits here in the second half.
Yeah, I think according to my numbers, I have 27 turnovers combined between the 2 teams. So
Soren Anderson to Micah Thompson, down in the right block, spins in the paint, up strong, got it, and a foul. Great job by the junior forward. Basket's going to count. It's like Josh Bosacker picking up the foul. Where's that Guapone? Might be Guapone picking up. Nope, they're going to get Bosacker for it. So that's 2 on Josh. And Micah Thompson going to the free throw line here. Trying to get Perham to the century or half-century mark. Free throw up and good by Micah Thompson. 2 of 3 from the line for Micah today. 59-50. They've got it back to a 9-point game. Now the Yellowjackets need a stop, and here's a foul up top. Alex Ohm's going to pick that one up. Third personal. 7:07 to go in this one. Nine-point advantage. They're in no hurry to get it back. Here's Bennett Olson, 3-point from the left corner. Missed it. Soren Anderson the board. Perham into the front court. Here's Ohm. Micah Thompson floats one inside. There's a push from behind on Volk. I believe that's going to be number 4 or 3 for sure. Could be number 4 on Ashton. That is his 4th. And Micah Thompson going to the free throw line, shooting a double bonus this time. So 2 shots from here on out. This could be huge for the Yellowjackets.
Well, they definitely needed something like this, and it comes with a good chunk of time on the clock, too, 6:51.
They're not out of it.
They're definitely not.
Start knocking down some threes. They're right back in this thing. Micah Thompson's second attempt is good.
Well, I think if you're a Perham fan, about 2 minutes ago you were a little nervous. I think those nerves have calmed down just a little bit, but you're still down. Still got work to do, but I think you can breathe easy right at the moment. We'll see.
Tate Olson, fadeaway jumper, missed it. Rebound to the Yellowjackets. Soren Anderson quickly into the front court. Micah Thompson spins in the paint. They're going to call the offensive foul on Micah. Bennett Olson was camped. Micah Thompson spun, so wave off the bucket. And a foul to Micah Thompson. Full court pressure now coming from the Yellowjackets. Kind of a different look we haven't seen for a while. Bennett Olson, though, is going to handle it.
I don't think I've seen the Yellowjackets full court press this year.
Bennett Olson goes up strong for the bucket. That's what he does. He's kind of a bull in a china shop once he gets inside the paint. Tough to stop as a 6'5 senior when he gets a little momentum going. Ohm into the front court. Drop it off. Micah Thompson looking for a cut. Now goes cross court. Open look. Here's Anderson. Missed it. Thompson the rebound. Soren has not been able to really get himself set and start knocking down some points today. Nice pass inside. Jacob Daniels. Pump fake once, twice. Goes off glass. Missed it. Daniels' own rebound. Thompson had it. Ball tipped away. Micah's going to the free throw line. He's going to be shooting 2. And Micah Thompson again to the free throw line here. The EOT Insurance free throw line. First attempt, rolls, good. He's been good at the line today, and they need them all. 61-53. Second attempt, in and out. Rebound, Bennett Olson. 5:40 to go in the contest.
I don't know. If I'm a Perham fan, I'm maybe a little bit more nervous now. It's not time's becoming less and less of a friend for the Yellowjackets.
Well, every possession counts at this point. Here's Bennett Olson. Trying to get a 3-second call. You're not going to get that one. Here's an open look. Offensive foul. Offensive foul against Alex Bosacker. That's going to be number 3 on Alex. Kind of a sloppy possession there for St. Peter. We haven't seen that much in the second half anyway.
Yeah.
So the full court pressure continues. Ohm back for Melvin. Nearly got away with a double dribble. Here's Micah Thompson, right corner. They don't want him that far away from the hoop. Melvin, he got fouled. Bosacker, that's going to be number 4 on Alex. And free throws again coming for the Yellowjackets. Melvin coming to the free throw line. Scoreless on the day is Chaz Melvin. That's kind of a surprise.
Definitely, and I have a suspicion that's going to change here in a moment. But, yeah, you're down 8, 5 minutes exactly to go, and every free throw counts, every possession counts, and every defensive board for Perham counts right now too.
Chaz knocks down his first one at the EOT Insurance free throw line. First point for Chaz Melvin, 61-54. Can they make it a 6-point game and thus a 2-possession game? And he does. Now the Yellowjackets need to stop. 61-55. We're inside of 5 minutes to go. Bennett Olson drives hard down the left side. Offensive foul. Jacob Daniels was parked. Nice defense by Daniels. Bennett Olson is second personal. Or check that, number 3 on Bennett Olson. So down by 6. We're not done yet. They handle the pressure this time. Soren Anderson been pretty quiet here in the second half, just 2 points. Cross-court pass, here's Anderson. Thought about it, nice dish underneath to Thompson, pump fake. Shot blocked underneath by Wapone, and a jump ball situation. Possession arrow goes to St. Peter.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of what Thompson did in the first half, and he had a lot of success with it. And not so much here in the second half, but I think if they continue to go back to that here, it might create some opportunities and some chances here.
Seems like every time Thompson gets the ball down in that low block, there's at least 2, possibly even 3 players surrounding him with hands everywhere.
It seems like it doesn't matter which Yellow Jacket player has it. There's 3 players with hands everywhere, especially to open up this half.
Josh Bosacker showing good patience. 4:11 remaining in the game. Wapone, Tate Olson, Abdi. Wapone right or left corner. Vinny's going to try and drive, spin, fade away off glass. Got it. Big shot there by Vinny Wapone. 7 points in the second half. He's got 12 in the game.
Yeah, the Yellow Jackets have to work quickly here to get something going. I don't think the ball was dribbled on the floor that whole trip down the court. That was pretty impressive.
3-point attempt, missed. Rebound coming down to St. Peter. Foul from behind on Soren Anderson. Seventh team foul against Perham, so that means St. Peter's going to the free throw line the rest of the game. It's an 8-point lead for St. Peter. Again, 35-25 at halftime. And St. Peter with an amazing run here to start the second half.
Yeah, Perham scored, I believe it was to make it 37-25, and then St. Peter tied it up at 37 and took the lead at 39-37. They haven't given it up yet.
64-55. Wapone trying to hit the second of the bonus situation. Missed that one. Rebound to Perham. Melvin in the backcourt looking for help. Boy, they pressure the ball nicely. When you pick up and give up your dribble, they are all over you.
Yeah. And
another steal.
Tate
Olson. Abdi coming back. And he got fouled on the play by Marcus Belka. So Abdi going to the free throw line. Belka picks up the foul. That's number 2 on Marcus. And a timeout being called here by St. Peter prior to the free throws. 3:15 to go in the ball game on our United Community Bank scoreboard. Our score, St. Peter 64, Perham 55. You're listening to Boys High School basketball.
When everything is in one place, it's easier to stay focused on your own life. At Central Minnesota Credit Union, we've streamlined our financial tools to ensure you have everything you need all under one roof. Whether you're starting a family, starting a business, or buying a home, CMCU is here to be a trusted financial partner. CMCU offers free checking options and a network of financial experts. Because when everything is in one place, it's easier to stay focused on your own life.
Maybe.
3:15 to go in this contest. St. Peter 64, Perham 55. Marwan Abdi to the free throw line, shooting a bonus here, and gets the first one. These are all big free throws for both teams. Marwan's had a nice second half.
Back to a 10-point lead now, too, with 3:15 to go.
Second attempt, too strong. Goes 1 of 2 from the line this time. And Perham comes away with the basketball. Pass up court, tipped away out of bounds by Vinny Guapone. St. Peter outscoring Perham 40-20 here in the second half, and there's a foul. Or ball tipped out of bounds.
40-20.
No, will be.
That's a number I did not expect to hear you say. But you're absolutely right.
Micah Thompson, there's a free throw coming here. He was fouled on the play. Bennett Olson coming up with the foul. That's number 4 on Bennett. Something to watch for with 3 minutes to go. And Thompson at the free throw line, at the EOT Insurance free throw line. Another free throw up and good. Now 6 of 7 from the line here in the second half for Micah Thompson.
At this point, I think it's vitally important that Perham does whatever they can to make sure St. Peter doesn't regain that double-digit lead. It's down to 8 at the moment.
65-57, they handle the pressure. Abdi kicks it off into the corner out on the wing. This is now Tate Olson. Inside of 3 to go. Bennett Olson playing with 4 fouls. Micah Thompson on him. Abdi, good patience by the Saints. Bosacker to Abdi. He's got a chance to make a move there on Anderson, but they're going to be patient again. They're trying to eat as much clock as they can. And there's a foul on Marcus Belka. A little bit of a shove there coming off that screen. So Marcus going to pick up foul number 3. And another free throw bonus opportunity coming here for Marwan Abdi, 6'3" senior forward.
Next foul for Perham will put St. Peter in the double bonus as well. 2:31 to go, and the free throw's up and in.
Knocks it down. Marwan now 3 of 4 here in the second half at the free throw line. Alex Bosacker checks back in for Josh Bosacker. 9-point advantage for St. Peter. Second attempt off the bonus. Got it. And more substitutions coming in. This time Perham, Alex Ohm checking into the game. Belka going, or rather Chaz Melvin going to the free throw, or going to the bench, I should say. 2:31 to go.
And now St. Peter's going to that full court press. Didn't mean to step on you there, Bob, but it worked in the first half. They're up by 10 with 2 minutes and change.
Ball skips all the way to the corner through the paint. They drop it down for Micah Thompson. Powers his way up and scores.
Nicely done there by Micah Thompson, as well as Soren Anderson, who delivered the pass down low there.
And a foul in the backcourt. Bennett Olson will go to the free throw line. Micah Thompson, I believe, picking up the foul.
And now both teams in the double bonus. So 2 shots for every foul for the rest of the game for both teams.
67-59 our score.
Well, we saw in the game against Fergus Falls for Perham, those final 2 minutes took about 24 minutes to complete, foul after foul after foul. And Perham was able to pull within 6. But right now, they're in a little bit of trouble right now.
Bennett Olson calmly knocks down both free throws. 69-59, leads back at 10. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the game. Micah Thompson, nice pass to Jacob Daniels, who goes up and scores.
Well, they certainly need a few more like that. There's no doubt about it.
69-61, inside of 2 to go. Bennett Olson swings it over. This is Guapone, who's had a nice second half. Vinny drops it back for Alex Bosacker. To Bennett Olson, the 6'5 senior. Bennett Olson way up top. Micah Thompson guarding him hard. Here's Bennett, drives hard to the paint, score it. Good move by Bennett Olson using his body, great body control. 71-61, another turnover, another bucket. Vinny Guapone goes up and score it.
Well, I was about to say that layup there by the previous player was the dagger, but that turnover and basket there was definitely the dagger.
Soren Anderson, three-pointer, missed it. He's been ice cold today from that right side. Alex Ohm, 3 up top, got it. And a timeout. Alex Ohm, second three-pointer of the game. Perham will call time. And we will take a break as well. 1:12 remaining on our United Community Bank scoreboard. St. Peter 73, Perham 64. You're watching high school basketball on
Perham Public Schools, School of Champions. Perham Public Schools, School of Champions.
Check out the Backyard in Perham. They have the largest selection of bird seed, assorted suets, and bird feeders in the area. Over 50 different varieties of pet food and pet treats, and an even bigger selection of pet toys, leashes, collars, and more. The Backyard is also your pet's destination for a spa day. The grooming salon is open Monday through Friday for grooms, nail trims, and baths. And book a stay for your pet at the Backyard Boarding and Play Care, a brand new facility made to make your pet feel at home. If your pet needs a comfortable place to stay, call Backyard Boarding and Play Care.
Welcome back to Perham. Bob Royce and Mike Mason here with 1:12 remaining on our United Community Bank scoreboard. Perham trailing 73-64. Full court pressure coming here after the made 3 by Alex Ohm. Trying to break it. Here's Ashton Volk. Maybe fouled from behind, and he was. There you get Marcus Belk, I believe, on the nudge from behind. It's number 4 on Marcus. And Ashton Volk going to the free throw line, trying to ice this one with a little over a minute to go. It's a 9-point advantage right now for St. Peter. Make it 10. Ashton Volk's first free throw of the day at our EOT Insurance free throw line. 10-point lead. Volk's second attempt. Rims, no good. Rebound Micah Thompson, but a foul from behind on Marwan Abdi. Not a good foul at all. Last thing you needed to see there.
Absolutely. March down to the other end for free throws here. And, you know, this is kind of what Perham wants. If they can get St. Peter to commit more fouls right after those rebounds and stuff, you just march down to the other end of the court. Clock is stopped and a chance to cut into that deficit.
Micah Thompson, 7 of 8, now 8 of 9 from the free throw line here in the second half. Substitution as Josh Bosacker checks back into the game. Abdi comes out with those 3 fouls. Thompson's second attempt coming here on a double bonus. Shot rolls off. Make him 8 of 10 on the game. St. Peter the rebound. Bennett Olson backcourt, now quickly in the front court to Josh Bosacker. 55 seconds to go, clock running, and a foul. Soren Anderson's going to pick that one up.
I'll stop the clock with 52.7 seconds to go now. And
It's possible. You get the one team missing, you get a rebound, you start knocking down some threes. Vinny Guapone's free throw rolls it in.
I think this is just too late here for Perham. I just don't see it happening. And as much as I hate to say that for the Yellowjacket fans watching, calling it as I see it.
Vinny knocks down the second one. He's had a very nice second half here for the Saints. 76-65. 11-point lead. Micah Thompson, Soren Anderson. Pump fake, they're going to let him go. Got it. 14 points for Soren, just 2 field goals here in the second half. 76-67. And ball tapped out of bounds, going to belong to the Saints with 35.1 to go. 9-point advantage.
Three threes would tie it up. Perham, they've been cold. If they can figure out a way to get hot, they could certainly do the damage they need to do, but it's just looking very grim right now.
They're also not getting any open looks from beyond the three-point line as that ball got tipped out of bounds. Ashton Volk checking back in. Alex Bosacker going back to the bench. Again, just looking for ball handlers out on the floor right now and who can shoot a free throw and make a free throw.
Yeah. I'm always the optimist. Whatever team's trailing, I find a way for them to potentially win. But I don't know. The ways are running out for Perham.
There's another foul. Alex Ohm picking up that one as Ashton Volk will go to the line. 4 personal fouls on Alex off the bench today. And Ashton Volk at the free throw line once again. He's 1 make so far today. Make it, nope, didn't get that one. (76-67), 22.1 seconds remaining. Tate Olson. Shea Hildebrandt's checked in for the second time today. That free throw's good by Volk. So 77-67. Trailed by 10 at the half. They now lead by 10 here in the second half. Here's Belka. Volk, three-pointer.
I think that's a 2.
Or to Ohm, rather. Yep. They're going to call it a 2. Had a foot on the line, all right? 77-69, another whistle, another foul. And more free throws coming. For the Yellowjackets, they will host Barnesville on the 27th of January.
And that'll be a game we have for you here on Magnitude Sports. Jason and Lance will have the honors on that one. And certainly are thankful that Bob and I could fill in for the 2 while they're out on other commitments. And I think one of them's watching, if not both of them watching.
Bosacker's second attempt up and good.
And this will likely be the final possession of the game here.
It's going to be a 9-point victory. There's a three-pointer by Micah Thompson. Micah's had a nice ball game today, and that's going to do it.
And for the second game in a row, the Perham Yellowjackets drop it by 6 points. 56-50 to Fergus Falls, 78-72 today against the St. Peter Saints, as the home win streak now turns into a streak of 2 and not the streak that they're looking for. We'll see if they can bounce back in that next game against Barnesville. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, add up some numbers, and bring you your post-game show coming up here in just a moment. Your Stein Seed post-game show coming up right after this here on the Make.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans have yield.
KLN is home to great companies like Kenny's Candy and Tuffy's Pet Foods. Matt Nagel here. I was raised right here in Lakes Country. Our products are top-notch. Working for a successful, locally owned family business means job security, pride, and a connection to our local communities. Join us at Kenny's Candy. Experience an awesome benefit program, competitive wages, a sign-on bonus, and profit sharing. Shop local, work local. Get started at klnfamilybrands.com or call 347-0525 and ask for Matt.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Why would you wander around a warehouse store looking for paint when you could just swing by your neighborhood Ace? In addition to Ace's award-winning service, we have top-rated paint brands. Plus, our color matching technology allows us to match any color. So stop wandering and start painting. Head to your neighborhood Ace today.
Hi, this is Mallory Stotterell
and Erica Saylor from Lakes Ace Hardware.
You can expect expert help for your next project at Lakes Ace Hardware,
right here in downtown Perham.
Hi, I'm Trevor Seaman with United Community Bank, and now we are in Long Weekend Sportswear talking with Tammy Seifert. Tammy, how are you?
Good, thanks.
What's the best part about working with United Community Bank?
They're local. They have been our best buddies since we purchased the business. They bent over backwards to educate us and let us know the best way to purchase this business. This was our first, endeavor of doing something so big. They've just always been there for us. I love just picking up the phone and calling. We just wouldn't be working with anybody else other than UCB.
Checking your credit score the easy way. Keeping your checking safe. Always.
I'm Trevor Seaman with United Community Bank, and we are down with Erica Saylor at Lakes Ace Hardware, downtown Perham. That transition to being a small business owner, how did United Community Bank help with you guys acquiring Lakes Ace Hardware?
They were through the whole process when we starting to do the purchase. They were super helpful, helped us out with everything, and just really easy to work with.
Jake, no video games till your homework's done, bud.
It is done, Mom. What about your homework?
My homework?
Arvik donates $1 from our internet payment each month. Helps buy technology for my classroom. Computers, tablets, stuff that wasn't invented when you were in school.
Haha, good one.
It's free.
School partnership program. That's an easy assignment.
I can see it now. Video games for every student.
Bob Roars and Mike Mason back with you in Perham, where today the home team falls to St. Peter by a final score of 78-72. Mike, definitely the tale of two halves as Perham led 35-25 after the first half, but boy, full court pressure from St. Peter in the second half just had absolutely flustered Perham the rest of the afternoon. Yellowjackets just couldn't recover. Fell behind by as many as, 12 points, I think, in the second half, if not more. Managed to get it back within 6, but really that second half, once they got that big lead, it really wasn't even a close finish as St. Peter, after a tough loss last night at Alexandria, comes back with a victory today over Perham. And again, 78-72 on our United Community Bank scoreboard. This is our Steinseed postgame show as we recap the numbers. But first, Mike, your comments just on what you saw here in the second half and how this one finished up.
Absolutely impressed with St. Peter in the second half. And, my mind goes back to the first half. They won by 6. In the first 5-6 minutes of that first half, St. Peter applied that press, which really kept them in the game at that point. We were tied at 8. Perham led 10-8. We were tied at 12. Perham led 14-12. They eventually built that up to a 10-point lead at the halftime break. And, we talked about it at halftime. Maybe St. Peter needs to do that press again. They came out with a 3/4 court press. I think a couple plays later they went to the full court press, and a couple plays later they went back to the 3/4 court press. They threw in a couple half-court traps. They got so many turnovers. I think in 8 possessions they got 6 or 7 turnovers on 8 possessions. And I don't care what team you are. If you turn the ball over 6 times on 8 possessions, that's going to hurt you, definitely. So, if St. Peter would not have pressed back in the first half, you got to think, would we be tied at 72? Would the Jackets win 72-70? Would we be in overtime right now? You go all the way back to that first period, and I think that press may have played a huge role in the outcome of this game.
I think it absolutely did, as you could just tell. I mean, the Yellowjackets, they didn't get any clean looks really in the second half at all. They were able to knock down some threes in the first half, but they were able to get some separation. And whatever Sean Keating told his St. Peter Saints at halftime, it was just, get in your face and let's start playing some defense. And by golly, it absolutely worked for them, as St. Peter now running their record now. I've got them at 7-10 on the season. That's not a bad basketball team over there. They've got some kids, as we'll take a moment here and look at our halftime stats, or our complete game stats. Unofficial stats, I should say,
we'll
brought to you by EOT Insurance. Here's what the scoring looked like tonight, or this afternoon rather. For Perham, first of all, Micah Thompson, outstanding game for him. 8 points in the first half. But again, finishes the game with 27, but he had to work for every single one of those points today. Nice day at the free throw line, I believe, going 8 of 10 from the line as well. So Micah Thompson scoring 27. 2 points for Chaz Melvin. Tough day for Soren Anderson. 10 points in the first half, and we thought, well, here we go. They got the big score, and he's starting to knock some things down. Only two-pointers in the second half for Soren, and honestly didn't get a chance to even attempt many field goals in that second half. So Soren finishes with 14. 5 points for Marcus Belka. Alex Ohm contributes a total of 10 points off the bench with a couple three-pointers. And Jacob Daniels, a nice ball game today, finishing with 14 points for Perham. That concludes their scoring with 72 points. For St. Peter, Ashton Volk comes off the bench, contributes 4 points all in the second half. 7 points for Josh Bosacker off the bench. Tate Olson knocks down 3 three-pointers. He finishes with 9. Vinny Guapone, nice effort by Vinny. Big second half, finishes with 17. 8 points for Alex Bosacker. Marwan Abdi scoring 11. 2 points for Zach Hermanson off the bench. And Bennett Olson, their 6'5 senior and leading scorer, finishes with 20. 16 of those coming in the second half. So they knew who they needed to go to in the second half. Bennett Olson, again, kind of a bull in a china shop. When he gets his motor going down the paint, he's a pretty tough kid to stop, and was able to knock down some three-pointers also today for the Saints. So once again, our final score, 78 to 72. Mike, any comments, or maybe we should take another quick break here? Let's do that. We'll come back with our moment of the game, brought to you by Central Minnesota Credit Union, and also our United Community Bank Player of the Game. We'll take care of that in a moment as our Stein Seed post-game show continues. You're watching high school basketball on Magnitude Sports Media.
I'm Trevor Seaman with United Community Bank, and we are down with Erica Saylor at Lakes Ace Hardware, downtown Perham. That transition to being a small business owner, how did United Community Bank help with you guys acquiring Lakes Ace Hardware?
They were through the whole process when we starting to do the purchase. They were super helpful, helped us out with everything, and just really easy to work with.
Check out the Backyard in Perham. They have the largest selection of bird seed, assorted suets, and bird feeders in the area. Over 50 different varieties of pet food and pet treats, and an even bigger selection of pet toys, leashes, collars, and more. The Backyard is also your pet's destination for a spa day. The grooming salon is open Monday through Friday for grooms, nail trims, and baths. And book a stay for your pet at the Backyard Boarding and Play Care, a brand new facility made to make your pet feel at home. If your pet needs a comfortable place to stay, call Backyard Boarding and Play Care.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans have yield.
When everything is in one place, it's easier to stay focused on your own life. At Central Minnesota Credit Union, we've streamlined our financial tools to ensure you have everything you need all under one roof. Whether you're starting a family, starting a business, or buying a home, CMCU is here to be a trusted financial partner. CMCU offers free checking options and a network of financial experts. Because when everything is in one place, it's easier to stay focused on your own life.
All right, welcome back. Mike Mason alongside Bob Roars, and the Stein Seed postgame show as the Perham Yellowjackets now drop 2 in a row at home, both by 6-point margins this afternoon, I should say, 78-72 to the St. Peter Saints. And Bob went over the individual numbers a moment right before the break here. Let's take a look at the EOT Insurance team numbers. Yellowjackets shooting 25 of 47, 9 of 20 from behind the arc. That's big. Like, if Perham takes 23 pointers, usually they make more than 9. Today was just not their day shooting. 16 of 21 unofficially from the EOT Insurance free throw line. Committed 17 fouls. Turned the ball over 20 times. Perham Yellowjackets don't usually hit the 20 mark on turnovers in their games either. So that's another unofficial number that you could probably circle as a reason why they would fall by 6. For the Saints, 27 of 46. That's a little over 50%. 6 of 12 is exactly 50%. 15 of 22 is a little over 50%. 20 fouls, only 11 turnovers. That's almost 50% less turnovers than the Yellowjackets. And I kind of hinted towards there 50-50-50. When you're above 50, that's a good thing. Yeah. So that's a look at your EOT Insurance team numbers unofficially. And once again, your final score, 78-72. Coming up in our second to last final segment of our post-game show, we'll select your United Community Bank Player of the Game and the Central Minnesota Credit Union Moment of the Game. We'll go ahead and select that moment of the game right now. You know, there's a lot of things that we could look at as candidates for that moment of the game. You could go back to the first half with that press that St. Peter put on. But, I think the moment of the game, the moment where this thing turned around for St. Peter was coming right out of the locker room at halftime. You have 5 players on the court, which means you have 5 guys to guard. And somehow, whenever Perham had the ball, St. Peter had 3 defenders on that player. If they were able to get a pass off without turning it over, somehow St. Peter had 3 defenders on the next guy who got the ball. I don't know how they did it. I don't know what was said. I don't know. I honestly don't know how. When you look at the numbers and the math, you think, okay, well, if you put 3 players on one guy, you got at least 2 wide open guys somewhere on the court for your team, but they weren't able to get the ball to those open guys.
They weren't able to do it because, there's one thing to play defense in your opponent's face.
Yeah.
But they were all over it. I mean, the hands were straight up, and when they converged on the ball, there was nowhere to go. I mean, they literally could not see anything up court because they defended it that well. That was creating turnovers. That got the points on the other side. So when you talk about a moment in the game, you really can't point to any, hey, this basket, was the key or anything.
Yep.
No, this was flat out a 17-2 run to start out the second half, and Perham didn't have any answers for it.
And they eventually built that up to a 40-20 with about maybe 5-6 minutes to go in the second half. And when you're just doubling up on your opponent and you're getting double up points on triple up defense, I mean, props to St. Peter's. I have never seen a basketball team do that before in my years of calling basketball games. So that was your Central Minnesota Credit Union moment of the game with the St. Peter Saints stellar defense in the second half.
And then look ahead to the player of the game. We've got a couple options there. That brought to you by United Community Bank. And we looked at the great effort. Micah Thompson in the second half, he was pretty much it for Perham. He kept them in the game. 8 of 10 overall at the free throw line. Micah scores 27 today, so that on the Perham side, there's our United Community Bank player of the game. But on the other side, look at St. Peter. I mean, 20 points from Bennett Olson. He was outstanding today. A huge second half because 16 of those. But tell you what, Vinny Guapone, their young guard, I mean, not real big. You're talking about a 6-foot senior guard. 5 points in the first half. He finished with 17. Some key steals, some key rebounds. Just played some really solid defense. I was impressed with Vinny today.
Yeah.
So credit to him. And for me, that's your United Community Bank Player of the Game on the St. Peter side today.
Yeah, absolutely no argument with that. Vinny had an outstanding game, and Micah had an outstanding game, and just a couple other players for Perham. If they could have been able to get some shots off, their shooting just went cold in the second half. They did a really good job shooting in the first half, but it just didn't carry over to the second half, and that eventually came back to haunt them, and St. Peter picking up the victory today.
No, you wonder too. Dave Cressup not able to be on the bench today.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, fighting COVID, so he's home, staying quarantined, what have you. How big of that was a factor? Obviously, this coaching staff's been with Dave for a number of years. The system, the program's not changing at all today. Brian Schwantz, I thought, and the other assistants, Grant Durkheising, Brent Hansen, thought we did a nice job managing things through the game. I don't know if Dave would have had any different answers today either. The way things went.
Yeah, I don't think if that was a factor, it wasn't a very big one. Let's put it that way. In my humble opinion, Brian Grant and Brent did a great job today, stepping into the shoes of Dave Cressup, and I can't say this officially, but I'm pretty sure Dave watched this game from home. And Dave, if you're watching, thanks for watching, and hopefully Dave would agree with my thoughts here. But man, that defense by St. Peter coming out at halftime. I don't care what coach you are for what team and what your win-loss record is over your career. That's hard to battle against. That kind of defense. And if Dave was here, would he have drawn up some other play on the playboard? I can't say for sure. My humble thoughts are when they put the marker to the marker board and said, hey, let's try this or let's try that, I don't think it would have mattered. I think St. Peter was just on their game with defense at that point in the game, and I don't think there was anything Perham could do to avoid that.
No, good game. Tough loss for Perham. Hopefully they can come back now, taking on Barnesville now on the 27th, and you'll be right back here. Magnitude Sports will have that one for everyone again. See if the Yellowjackets can get back in the win column here.
And I think we said, what we'll do is we'll take one more break, and then we'll come back with our final thoughts and wrap this one up, because I do have one more final thought that I would like to share. And we'll share that here in just a moment on the Magnitudes.
I'm Trevor Seaman with United Community Bank, and we are down with Erica Saylor at Lakes Ace Hardware, downtown Perham. That transition to being a small business owner, how did United Community Bank help with you guys acquiring Lakes Ace Hardware?
They were through the whole process when we starting to do the purchase. They were super helpful, helped us out with everything, and just really easy to work with.
Your final 78-72 in favor of the St. Peter Saints. Mike Mason along Bob Roars. Before I get to my final thoughts, Bob, your final thoughts.
My final thoughts is, Perham's just got to find some consistency here. This is maybe something. It's a good team. They got some very talented kids, great athletes. Just got to get that swagger back. Got to get that confidence back, and they're going to have a big opportunity coming up here against Barnesville. Hard to say, whether yesterday you're maybe hoping they could have played one more game last night. Maybe they come back, but at the same time, the rest should help.
Yeah.
When you come back, St. Peter played 2 games in 2 nights. And, St. Peter, a tough loss at Alexandria, but, they're going to go home with a smile on their face now tonight on that long bus ride home back to St. Peter. Good, successful trip. Tough against Alexandria, tough loss, but you get a win today. And nice to see Sean Keating, a Fargo native, coming back in the area and getting a victory tonight, too. I'm sure he's got to be pretty happy.
Yeah, I would definitely be pretty happy if I was on the St. Peter coaching staff, no doubt about it. I have a feeling that we'll have a few more views on that December 10th game we did. It was the overtime game between Perham and Barnesville happening earlier this season. Barnesville pulling away with that overtime victory. Can they come to the Hive and knock off the Jackets again? 10 days ago, I probably would have said no. But now, Perham, Pelican Rapids, DGF, Hawley, Wadena Deer Creek, all the other Breckenridge, all the other HOL teams, they're like, hey, Fergus beat them, St. Peter beat them. They can be beat at home. I think these 2 wins by Fergus Falls and St. Peter is really kind of taken away the fear that teams have coming into the Hive, knowing that Perm normally doesn't lose here. You go all the way back to January 21st, 2017, which as of right now is 5 years and 1 day. The Eskimos beat Perm at home in their old gym, and since that game against Esko, they did not lose for, I think it was like that Fergus Falls game, I think was 3 or 4 days shy of 5 years of a home win streak that lasted for almost 5 years, and now they've lost 2 in a row. And I don't think there's any intimidation to the Hive anymore. Now that I've said that, Dave's going to come back. He's like, let's put the intimidation back into this. So, but, I really think a door has been opened here. And I think that, there's been a lot of close games here. Barnesville lost last year in the I believe it was the 8AA semifinal. It was, if my memory serves me correct, I don't have it in front of me, but I believe it was a single-digit loss. And DGF almost beat them. They've had a couple of other close games. They've had a handful of games. I think Perm's played in 3, maybe 4 overtime games this year. 2 of them here in the Hive. They're 1-1 in those 2 overtime games here in the Hive, but they're also 1-1, or they're 0-1 in overtime games on the road. So overtime has not been Perm's friend. And I'm not saying that the game will go to overtime, but I'm just saying that I think the intimidation of coming to the Hive for Perm's opponents is probably a little bit more relaxed now that they've dropped 2 in a row.
Well, you think about it. Now you're down to about, 4 weeks left in the regular season, 4 or 5 weeks. And, it's time to start thinking about tournament time and seedings and placement and, finding your rotation, who are the key players, who needs to get healthy. I mean, those are all big factors. So those are all things that you've got time to work on it. I mean, Perm, again, you've got good kids, you've got good athletes, and maybe it's a bump in the road. They talk about basketball being a game of runs. Usually my 2 runs will beat your one run during a game. That's going to be the difference. The second half, they couldn't get the momentum back again. More than anything else. They couldn't find that one great play, that one big stop. They couldn't get Soren Anderson the basketball, couldn't find him for any open looks in the second half. So it'll happen. I mean, they'll work on it. They'll go back to the drawing board. They get back to practice. They've got a little time here before the 27th to play. They're going to be okay. They're definitely going to be a team in Section 8 that teams are going to have to worry about because they just do. I mean, Perham will find a way. Dave Crescent will get this thing loaded up, and they'll be ready to go.
Well, maybe everything I said was just eliminated by what your thoughts were, so we'll see. Well, I guess we'll just see how the cards play out. Coming up here for the St. Peter Saints, they will be at home. They'll have a 3-game home stretch after a 2-game road trip. They'll host Blue Earth area, host Waseca, and host Faribault on the 24th, 27th, and 31st. And then they'll kick off February on the road at St. James area on February 4th and Kenyon Wanamingo on February 10th. And then that is what is coming up here for the St. Peter Saints. Coming up for the Perham Yellowjackets, they, as Bob mentioned, they'll have Barnesville here Thursday night. And then they will be in St. Michael, Albertville on January 29th, taking on Rockford. And then they stay on the road, and they'll play at Frazee on February 4th. And then come back home. Or no, they'll go to Alexandria to play Redwood Valley. So they got after the home game versus Barnesville, they have a 4-game road trip: Rockford, Frazee, Redwood Valley, and Pequot Lakes, before they come back home on February 15th, I believe it is, to get the rematch against Pelican Rapids, a team that defeated them by 30 on the road. Pelican Rapids watching this game thinking, hey, we beat them by 30 on our home court. They'll come in here. We'll be happy with it if we beat them by 6 on there. So I don't know. I think that's one I'm going to circle, and I'm gonna be watching. And you can catch that game here on Magnitude Sports. And then the Yellowjackets go on the road February 18th at DGF, at Breckenridge on the 22nd, at Hawley on the 25th, at Fergus Falls on the 26th of February. Come back home March 1st against the Prowlers, and then Thief River Falls Prowlers, and then they wrap it up on the road at Bemidji. And somewhere in the mix of all of that, they'll have a game against Hawley and Breckenridge on 2 games that were postponed that have not been set with dates to the best of our knowledge yet. So that's what's coming up for the Perham Yellowjackets. Your final score one more time, 78-72 for Bob Roars. My name's Mike Mason, and for everybody watching, we thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and we'll catch you next time here on Magnitude Sports.
Proceeding has been a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Media Network.